Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott, and you, my dear friends, wandered onto the Prog Corner. Welcome if it's your first time here, and welcome back to all my regular viewers. Oh, you're in for a treat today, that's absolutely for sure, as I run down the 10 singers that I absolutely despise. Yeah, it's not clickbait week, but it might as well be with a topic like this, and I don't know what possessed me to do this. I have no idea, but I'm going to run through the 10 singers that I just don't like. When I hear them on the radio or whatnot, I tend to turn the channel. And a couple people we are excluding from this list. So there will be no Bob Dylan on this list. I know he's not a good singer. But when you're singing those lyrics, you know, he gets a free pass. Tom Waits, kind of the same deal. Neil Young, absolutely the same deal there. And don't talk to me about Geddy Lee, okay? I love Geddy Lee. He's not on this list. Absolutely not. How about Scott Stapp? Well, I'm on the record as saying the first two Creed albums are actually very, very good. So I'm leaving him alone. Peter Hamill, absolutely not going to be on this list. Bono, he was nice to your boys, so he's not going to make this list. Eddie Vedder, I get it, I suppose, but I do kind of like him. Tom Petty, you know, maybe not, but his halftime Super Bowl performance probably took him off that list because he hit those notes in free falling. Absolutely perfect, but here we go, man. At number 10, I'm going with Macy Gray. Yeah, I don't know what is about that voice. If you've heard it, you know what I'm talking about. Her real name is Natalie Renee McIntyre. And oddly enough, she went to high school with a guy named Brian Warner who ended up being Marilyn Manson. I met the Black Eyed Peas before Fergie joined, so I knew that they had a female singer on a couple tracks on their debut. Turns out it was Macy Gray. I forgot all about that, man. Her debut album came out in 1999. She won the Grammy in 2001. And then following that Grammy win, she absolutely botched the national anthem, so a lot of people don't like her because of that. But, you know, what is with that voice, man? It is one of the more unique things I've ever heard. She's from Canton, Ohio. She doesn't sound like she's from Ohio at all. That's crazy. At number 9, I'm going with the despicable Fred Durst from his despicable and awful band Limp Bizkit. This cat is a Florida boy. He was born in Jacksonville, then he went to the Navy, had a kid, came back to Jacksonville, started a band. He's been married 4 times, but for some reason this guy really hit the nail on the head as far as the cultural zeitgeist of the time. I have no idea why, but he was so plugged into this whole new rap rock kind of thing going on that he was named a senior vice president of A&R at Interscope, which is really weird because like a couple years later, he would have Napster as one of his main sponsors on a Limp Bizkit tour. So I doubt, a record label and Napster would be, what one might consider conventional bedfellows. I don't know. But the primary reason I got this cat on this list is he is just a dyed-in-the-wool Vladimir Putin lover. And if you love Vladimir Putin that much, dude, yeah, apparently he was looking into getting a Russian passport. Good luck with that. Please move to Moscow. We're done with you. Yeah, so that was number 9. At number 8, I'm going with Adam Lavine. Oh, yeah, this guy sang okay back in the Kara's Flowers days. He put out one album with that band in 1997. And then Maroon 5 was born. They added a 5th member. It was basically Kara's Flower with an extra guitar player. And their first album, Songs About Jane, wasn't horrible. It wasn't bad, but everything after that, man, all that falsetto singing is just terrible. You know, here's a cat whose daddy owned a whole bunch of department stores in L.A. So, you know, it's easy to follow your dreams when mommy and daddy are footing the bill. Most people know this guy probably from his mentoring on The Voice or, you know, any of those horrible singing shows on TV. But my favorite Adam Levine performance was on American Horror Story where he got his arm ripped off. I thought that was special. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Okay, that's Adam Levine at number 8. At number 7, oh, the hits keep coming, man. This is just painful. Absolutely painful. I'm going with the despicable Kid Rock. At number 7, this gentleman was born January 17th, 1971. His real name is Robert James Ritchie Jr. Bobby James, call him old BJ Ritchie if you want. Out of the Detroit, Michigan area, he was into this whole rap rock thing, and unlike bands like Rage Against the Machine that were actually interesting and engaging, this was just terrible stuff. Obviously, he later on would dip his toes into country and the whole countrified thing. His debut album came out in 1990, and I kind of forgot about that because, I think about him as a turn of the millennium kind of guy, but, clearly he'd been working for a long, long time before things started happening for him. And, early on, he was having his dalliances with like the Jamie Kings and the Pamela Andersons of the world. Just really weird that a guy with zero talent would have that kind of success, but it is his politics that I take the most exception with. Here was a guy that, back in 2017 was saying, I have friends everywhere, Democrats, Republicans, I love everybody. Fast forward a couple years later, he's talking about how he wants to kill every Democrat he runs across. Bad person, move to Moscow, Kid Rock. We don't want you here. Oh, at number 6, oh man. How about Vince Neil? Well, I am an advocate of Motley Crue, particularly their first 2 albums, which I think are fantastic, but primarily because Nikki Sixx and the lead singer of my band, Casey Chaos, were close, and they corresponded, they became friends and whatnot, so Motley Crue was a big supporter of the band I was in, so I can't hate Motley Crue, but I can certainly hate Vince Neil. This guy's terrible. He was born February 8th, 1961, so he's a year older than me, which is weird. He was in a band called Rock Candy out in L.A., and I guess Nikki Sixx heard him sing and invited him to join Motley Crue in 1981, and the rest, as they say, is history. The album Too Fast for Love came out that year. Vince has been married 4 times, but he's probably better known for all his problems rather than his singing prowess or lack thereof. His alcoholism, his lawsuits, his vehicular manslaughter, where his drinking and driving cost us the life of Razzle Dingley, the drummer from Hanoi Rocks. All kinds of lawsuits. I guess he owes lawyers money. He owes record labels money. He owes everybody. He probably owes me money somewhere down the line. I don't know. At number 5, I think this is number 5. Not keeping real close tabs. I didn't put any numbers on here. At number 5, oh, it's Darius Rucker. Oh, my goodness gracious. Born May 13th, 1966 in Charleston, South Carolina. This cat went on to form this terrible band called Hootie and the Blowfish, which in 1994 dropped an album called Cracked Rear View, which went platinum 22 times. It sold like 21 million copies. It's absolutely insane. Spawning 3 giant top 10 hits: Hold My Hand, Let Her Cry, Only Wanna Be With You, and the Dolphins Make Me Cry. It's just awful. It's terrible. I bought the CD like everyone else in the world in 1994. One of the worst purchases I ever made. I will absolutely attest to that. And then Hootie breaks up, so he decides he's going to do R&B with the 2002 debut solo album Back to Then. Just awful. And then 6 years later, he had a total rethink, a total rebrand. He gets signed by Capitol Nashville, and he puts out his first country album, Learn to Live, in 2008, and he's just been a country crooner ever since. It's awful. It's terrible. At number 4, here's somebody that I give all kinds of props and accolades to, but I just can't stand her voice. It's Dolly Parton, man. Born January 19th, 1946 in Pittman Center, Tennessee. This girl went on to write and record 25 number 1 hit singles, 44 top 10 country albums, 11 Grammys, 10 CMAs. She's a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. To her credit, she married her husband, Carl Dean, all the way back in 1966. They have no kids, so I appreciate that. I like that. Dolly is Miley Cyrus's godmother, which is kind of weird, but I love you, Dolly, but I hate your voice. I just can't do it, man. I can't do that little chirpy bird voice. It's absolutely terrible. That Rockstar album where you're trying to do rock songs, the less said about that, the better. But Dolly, you are a good person. I just don't like your singing. That's not your fault, I guess. What do we got here? Okay, man, we're in the top 3 here. Oh, the top 3 singers that I just don't like, and I never have. At number 3, I'm going with Stevie Nicks, man. born May 26, 1948 in Phoenix. Her dad was vice president for the Greyhound bus company, so they moved around a whole lot. They ended up in Arcadia, California, where she meets a guy named Lindsey Buckingham, who was in a band at the time, and she, I guess, jumped up on stage, started singing California Dreamin' with him or whatnot. Next thing you know, they're forming a band together, and they put out their debut album, Buckingham Nicks, in 1973. Her and Lindsey joined Fleetwood Mac in 1975. They released their stone cold masterpiece, Rumors, in 1977. Stevie Nicks puts out her debut solo album, Belladonna, in 1981. She gets romantically linked not only to Lindsey Buckingham, but also Joe Walsh and Don Henley. And I can't stand her voice, man. She'd be at number one if it weren't for the song Landslide. She wrote it. And that's an amazing song, so I'm gonna give her credit where credit is due, but I've just never been a Stevie Nicks guy. Give me Christy McPerfect any day of the week. Oh, at number two. Yeah, my hatred for this band is well known. It's Chris Martin, the despicable lead singer of Coldplay. This gentleman was born March 2nd, 1977. He went to the University College where he met all the future members of Coldplay. The band was formed in 1997. Their debut album came out in 2000, Parachutes, and it had the song Yellow on it. It's the only album by Coldplay I don't hate. I really don't like the rest. Yeah, this loser married Gwyneth Paltrow in 2003. Come on, man. Oh, that just gives me the willies thinking of, oh no, Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow, yuck. They divorced in 2016, where he shortly thereafter shacked up with Dakota Johnson. He has 2 kids. He has 1 million awards. He has 0 talent. Chris Martin, that's a big giant no thank you for me. And at number 1, oh, boys and girls, at number 1, it's Axl Rose. It's Axl Rose. I just have never liked him, man. I've never liked him. Dude was born February 6th, 1962, so he's in my tribe. He's in the 1962 tribe, so, I welcome him with open arms into that category. But as far as this singing, man, it never got me. I never liked it. Dude was born William Bruce Rose Jr., and I guess he had a tough childhood where his dad abused him and all this, that, and the other thing. And I think most people probably dislike Axl because of his attitude and a lot of the shenanigans he was pulling, back when Guns N' Roses were on top of the world. Kind of made sense, but now that, they're not really a thing anymore, the attitude just doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I don't understand it. The only saving grace I can have for Axl and his terrible voices, it is instantly recognizable, right? You hear a Guns N' Roses song, you hear Dude Man sing, it takes you like 0.5 seconds to figure it out. And that, that is something, right? That's something in and of itself. Anyway, boys and girls, that's my wrap up of the 10 singers that I absolutely despise, that I just don't like at all, man. Anyway, peace in the Middle East. We need some peace there, man. Everybody hold hands and, kumbaya and get along. It's time for that. War sucks. Killing people's no good. And I don't care what religion you subscribe to, man. Killing people ain't right. It just isn't. Anyway, so free the Ukraine, free Tibet, free Willie, free your minds, free everything, free everybody, and God save King Charles III. Save the king. God save the king. We're gonna save the king. I hear that boy ain't doing so good, so bring that boy to America. Bring him to America right now, where we got the healing hands of the faithful gonna wait. Oh, he can wait all day long for them healing hands. Oh, feels so good getting all the Jesus juice inside of you, man. Oh, yeah. We're going to do spells. We're going to do incantations. We're going to do all that kind of stuff, but you know what's going to work. Only one thing's going to work, and Billy Bob knows what it is. Hey, Billy Bob. Bust out them snakes, sir. Oh, here they come. Oh, no. Oh, the snakes are lively today. He wants to get me, but I'm not going to let him get away from me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.